Hello everyone and welcome back to Minecraft. I hope you guys enjoyed that little time lapse there in the beginning. We are working over in the jungle adjacent to our base, and we are in the process of clearing it out so we can put some more builds here. But without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into the main project that we have for today. So I've been having some lag issues in my world here recently, and I'm trying to figure out what exactly it is. So for the time being, I'm actually going to be removing all of the furniture mods and stuff and just going back to mostly vanilla stuff, just so I can kind of figure out what exactly is causing the lag issues. And a majority of it is coming from the jungle, because if you look over here, you know, we're sitting at steady 60, which is what I have mine capped out at 70. But if we come over here, we look this way, we have 6. We look back this way, we have 60 again. So something's going on when it comes to the jungle. So I'm going through and I'm going to be adding some mods just to help with FPS, you know, fluttering, stuff like that. So if you notice like the furniture's gone, stuff like that, just figured I'd let you guys know ahead of time. But we're going to go ahead and get back to the regularly scheduled programming. Alright, so we went ahead and we're over here at the wheat farm, well, the wheat field, and I decided that I want to kind of put a bridge in here. Now we don't need it, but I think that it would look good to kind of connect this part of the aisle over here to this island. So I went ahead and did some terraforming underwater. I used, let me go ahead and drink the night vision potion real quick. That way we can see what we're talking about. Alright, so as you can see, I used some of the soul soil and some mud. And I use the soul soil basically to kind of blend in with the sand, as the soul soil kind of looks like a sandy silt kind of dirt. And then, you know, obviously the mud, just to have the mud kind of, you know, come in here and be our, like our mediation block, transitioning back into the grass. And then I use the soul soil here around some of the sand just to kind of, you know, bring in that silt feel. And that's kind of what I want to do. Like, this is the ocean over here, because it literally is the ocean right here. So I want to come over here and make this as kind of like a canal or like a brackish water system, because where I live, where the ocean funnels into and around the state that I live in, it actually turns into brackish water as it goes in that way. So I want to kind of bring some realism in and turn this into more of a brackish water system over here. And by doing so, not only will we make the underneath of our water look a little bit more interesting, but we'll also be able to bring in some more decorations and stuff like that and make it a little more unique. And I do have some of that mud tapering out in here, and I will use some of that soul soil out in here. And then I do plan on turning this little patch right here into sand, and kind of going along and adding in some sand, keeping some of the gravel, because I do know that there will be some gravel, but mainly just kind of turning this into a more believable biome. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and get started on the bridge now. Now for the bridge, I do want it to look a little bit more futuristic. So I have gathered a little bit of a mess of blocks here. I do have some smooth quartz and some of the prismarine, some dark prismarine, some sea lanterns, blue glass, and then I also have our nature's box over here, so that I can use some sea pickles, some glowberries, and stuff like that to kind of give it a little bit more life after we get it all built. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into getting this built. Alright, so I got a little carried away off camera, and I went ahead and built the bridge. So I'm going to go ahead and walk you guys through what I did. Now, most of this bridge is made up of quartz, smooth quartz half slabs. Actually, we'll go underneath, and I can show you guys underneath a little bit better. So as you can see, there's a lot of quartz half slabs, but there's also a lot of quartz stairs. And then under here, the supports are made up of copper blocks. And then we've got some glowberries underneath, just providing some light. Now if we go over here, you can see that I have cut copper stairs going up the sides, I have a copper grate down through the center, which is all waterlogged, so that it's kind of like as the tide is rising and lowering, like the bottom of the bridge gets wet, so you can actually see some water droplets coming off of it. I think that's a nice little touch. And then went ahead and used prismarine walls for the sides, and then over here I used acacia fence gates because of the way they stack like that when they're connected together. And because this is an even bridge, I had to do, you know, 2 in the center, 2 in the center. But yeah, basically just a little bridge that has, you know, I think a lot more potential to be, you know, included once I start getting more and more of the steampunk elements in. But I really do like that bluish green color of the copper, along with the orange of the acacia, because it's a stark orange color. So I think that works really well. Now the only issue with the copper is I've got to wait for that to oxidize, which that could take a while. And then the prismarine, how it, you know, changes colors throughout the day, will definitely be something nice to look at. Only thing that I wish I could have made it out of the prismarine bricks, because if we come over here, I actually brought a lot more materials with me because I was hoping to make it with prismarine or dark prismarine, but unfortunately you can only make stairs and slabs with the dark prismarine, and you can only make stairs and slabs with the prismarine bricks. So didn't get to use those in this build, but that is 100% fine. We have a few more builds to do today, so let's go talk about the elephant in the room. And that is, if we look over at the house, the little greenhouse that I did, that is very rustic looking style, and it is a very nice build in my opinion. And then we come over and look at this eyesore. Now I know it was episode 1, I went ahead and built it, and you know, can't really blame me for wanting to kind of take a new look at it, because while I do like the modern styling, I think that with us going with a solar punk themed base, we are going to need to possibly go in a different direction. So what I'm gonna have to figure out how I'm going to tear this down. So I'm gonna figure that out, and then we'll come back and we'll tear it down. Alright, so I figured out what we're gonna do with this house. I'm a little tired of it, so placed a little bit of TNT, and let's just watch it burn. I think that works. I'm just kidding, guys. But I really do want to take this house down. So we're going to go ahead and take it down, and then we're going to come back, and we are going to go ahead and get this house looking pretty nice. So let me go ahead and take this down, and then we're going to build something brand new in its place. Alright, so now that we have the house tore down, I think we need to lay down a foundation for a new one. And I do want to keep this little rock structure here, so we're going to go right along here. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have 6 going this way, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So that should bring us to 13 here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So we can remove that one. Then we're going to go basically matching up this style right here. I'm going to come along the back, and now this is just a rough layout. I'm not going to be building the whole foundation out of stone. And then we're going to go, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is 7, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we're going to go, this will be 8 and 9. And then we're going to come out like this. and then we'll go up there. Meet across like that. And then we're going to come over here on this side, and we're going to go right about here, 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and we need to bring this back by 1, so we'll go right here. And then break that, and then here and right here, so we can break this out right here. And then we'll break all the interconnecting blocks out. And all this is just a little template for me to work from, but that is how our new house is going to look. So let me get the materials I want to get together, just to make sure that I have everything that I need and or want, and then we will come back. Now, you guys know, if you've been watching my videos, you know I love my Tudor style houses. And this house is also going to be Tudor style, but it's going to be a little bit different, seeing as how we are going to be making this house be a little bit more steampunk like. So I'm going to go ahead and get some foundational blocks here. There we go. And we're going to come up, and we're going to come up from here. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And the same on all of these. But yeah, I'm going to be adding a bunch of solar punk elements into it. Like I said, this is not, you know, guaranteed to stay. It might be moved to more of a center position, which that actually might be the case now that I'm looking at it. I might move it into a center position right here. Now I would have to, you know, move these chests, but that's not too big of an issue. Right here, we'll put this, and we'll place this actually down by 1. So we're going to place this, and then we're going to place this guy, and then we're going to go 1, 2, 3, and 4. Nah, we'll take that barrel out. We will be incorporating the barrels though, don't worry about that. At least I hope so. Otherwise I made 15 barrels for no reason. But yeah, I'm thinking this will be a good little foundational start. And then we can go ahead and add in 2 and 3. Add that in right there. And let's actually, we'll take this out. Move this one out, and then 3. So that'll go there. We'll put that there. There we go. And then we'll move all this stuff off camera. But let me go ahead and get this stuff moved so it's out of the way, get this all finished in, and then we will start working on the bottom half. Alright, so basically what we're going to do is we're going to come along here, and we're going to add some more of these impressions of moisture. We're going to add some right here because there's a lot of moisture that's going to be collecting around this area, considering there is some water coming out of it. And I might get into doing some little bit of water erosion type stuff here soon. But I'm just going to get this bottom layer in with you guys, and then we're going to hop on into a time lapse. But I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about this. Now, my other house wasn't bad, it just didn't fit really the vibe that I was going for with this area. And I started noticing that the more and more I started building up houses, and the more and more I started... Oops. Let me get these off my hotbar before I waste them all. The more and more I started building up houses, and the more I started putting in different builds into the area, in different looks. Like, you know, we have our tent over there, we have this house over here. Now I do want there to be some modern feels to it, like, because if we look over here at the egg shrine, you know, it has a very nice modern feel to it. But I don't want to kind of pigeonhole myself into just a modern build. And this isn't going to be a traditional style Tudor style house either. I am going to be doing a lot more to it to kind of make it my own and to kind of bring it into a style that I can use throughout the base. But I definitely don't want to have a base that I can't really expand off of. And I know I can expand off of Tudor style houses and do some regular, like, more not modern but modern day houses and stuff, and still make it look like it kind of coalesces with the Tudor style. Like, the Tudor style has been there for a while. So I am going to be doing this first whole layer is going to be stone, which kind of, I guess, is a more traditional style that you see Tudor style houses built in. But that's probably where everything else, where it's going to end, because I am, like I said, going to be adding in solar punk elements and a few other things that I think will actually make this house shine. Let's go over here, add some cracked, and then bring that out, and then we'll do this one like that. But yeah, so basically this is going to be the basement of the house, and it's going to get a lot of, probably like a lot of storage use and stuff, and then, you know, have upstairs, my room and all that. But this is going to be a fairly big build, so we're going to cut into a time lapse, and I will see you guys when it's finished. Alright, so we went ahead and did some of the interior, just a little start on it. So went ahead and put in some lighting down here. Now I do have to remove some of the floor light just to make sure that everything is properly lit, but I don't see any reason why it wouldn't be. But for what I went ahead and did for all this is I used smooth concrete stairs and smooth quartz stairs and smooth quartz slabs for the top, and then I did some truss systems using some of the spruce, and then I used sea lanterns for a more modern feel to the light. And I think that that actually is going to work pretty well. I do need to put some spruce pillars in here and here just to finish out that support beam look, and then I will continue them down through here, which is what I did right here. And I actually have the spruce on me, so we can go ahead and do that real quick. Grab the spruce, grab my axe, and we'll go ahead and we'll swap the axe out. So like this, and then we will go like that. And we'll go down into this hole. And we'll remove that support. And then we will do the same thing. And that way it looks a little bit more foundationally sound, and plus now we have some rooms already divided up for us to use when we want to go ahead and make some rooms in the house. And some of the rooms will be just like a bed. There will be a bedroom, there'll be like a little living room area, room that's going to have like some storage in it, and I've already kind of started marking out how the storage is going to look. And you know, we have this balcony out here that could be its own room, so we could wall this off from here and then have like a doorway here, have this walled off, and then this is like the storage room, and then you come over here, have a wall going through here, and then that is the bedroom, and then we could have like this be like a kitchen and dining room together, and then over here just be like a prep area for the kitchen or like an office space. But I think that that looks pretty good for now. And we do have a place for tools to go, which is going to be like down here. It's going to have like some tools, just a work area, have some decorations, stuff like that, maybe some armor stands, maybe my old armor will be in here, and maybe some of our trophies like the guardian heads, the inner dragon head, stuff like that could be kind of propped down there. Now this is here because I am going to be making a chimney that comes out from here, and it's just going to come out from here. We'll go into free cam, come out from here, go up here, and probably stick up about, let's say about where that second polished blackstone block is in height, and then it'll just have some trapdoors around it with a campfire, and that will lead directly to our smoker. But I am going to move some more stuff in here, get some greenery in here, because even though this is a house, I do want to have some plants and stuff, because it is solar punk after all, so we do need to have some plants. And yeah, I'm going to do some decorations, but when we come back, we will talk about some of the decorations and wrap everything up. Alright, I think that's all we have time for today. Let me go ahead and talk to you guys about what we got done. So, made a little fishbowl, had a clownfish head, so I named it Nemo. Made a little armor set right here. Our first pickaxe is there. Have our bedroom all set up. Well, gotta get this out of the way first. And in between episodes, I'll add some doors and some more greenery. But have a little living room started here. Our kitchen is right here. Little workspace right here. Just some redstone parts, and then our trophies from throughout the world. And I'll be adding more as we get more. Little enchanting area here, and the fun thing about this is you can actually do a level 30 enchant. And then in here, just some storage. Just got some barrels, my ender chest, a couple of chests put around, And then if we go down, haven't really done anything with this area yet. I'm thinking about putting an auto smelter here, just to kind of keep us going as far as being able to smelt everything. And I do intend on putting a carpet here. I actually have the wool and stuff in one of these chests. Ah, this one right here. Yeah, I've got the wool and stuff already here. Just got to go ahead and put the carpet in. And in between clips, we actually went and got ourselves our first island resident that is not an animal or ourselves. And that is this villager right here. And she is a mason. So got ourselves a mason villager so we can keep up with that quartz that we're going to need. But yeah, in between episodes, I'll go ahead, I'll add some greenery, add some different things. Let me go ahead and grab that grass block because that's been bugging me since we made the house. But yeah, like I said, in between episodes, we'll add some greenery, add some more floral around the area, probably make it a little overgrown. And we might put some of the solar panel shields that we did in. Yeah, I think this is a pretty good start. And we can actually start storing some of our enchanted books in here as we find them. But yeah, guys, that's all we have for today's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, hit the like button down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you guys in the next one. Alright, guys. Bye.